distinguished faculty, proud parents, family, and friends, and most importantly, graduates. Graduates, are you excited? Congratulations to each and every one of you for your commitment, dedication, and incredible accomplishment. You and your loved ones have so much to be proud of. It is both a privilege and an honor to be with you today to celebrate this milestone in your journey through life. I am especially touched in the fact that of the degree programs you represent, criminal justice and healthcare, I have a personal stake and a passion for both. I possess a background in serving as a police officer and my current role as a healthcare executive. I am passionate about those we serve, from the individuals that make poor choices and find themselves facing the criminal justice system, to those that are weak and vulnerable because of health issues. We cannot ever forget our awesome responsibility to be respectful and treat those we serve with decency, respect, and in the same way we or someone in our family would want to be treated. In January of this year, NBC News reported a story about a Brooklyn principal, Nadia Lopez, who dreamed of taking her students from Mott Hall Bridges Academy to Harvard to inspire them beyond their troubled neighborhoods. One of her 13-year-old students described his principal saying, "One time she made every student stand up, one at a time, and she told each one of us that we matter." Soon you will be transitioning to your career. Or for some, you may continue in furthering your education. But most importantly, you each have the opportunity to impact the world around you. Now more than ever, the world needs you. Your community needs you. Each of you has a unique trait deep down within. It is the very purpose that compels you to excel in your life, equipping you to make a difference in the lives of those you will serve, work alongside, lead, and to those whom you will report. Each of you will endeavor into different fields. However, they all have one thing in common: service to others. You have the opportunity to impact people that are oftentimes at the lowest point in their entire life. It is in that personal crisis of those you will serve that is likely to make the most impact in our community. You have worked hard, preparing, developing, and mastering your skills. Now it is time to put everything into practice. For the criminal justice majors, now more than ever, our criminal justice system has faced criticism, a loss of trust, and a loss of credibility within many communities across the nation. At the same time, increased threats face our nation more than ever. The criminal justice graduates have a unique opportunity to be a bright light at a not so bright time. To do this effectively, one must not be troubled by the challenges we face, but rather have the confidence that you are equipped to make a difference. You may not be able to change circumstances or others, but you most certainly can change yourself, and as a result, will inspire others to also excel and change for the better. Dare to be true to yourself and everything that you know is right. When others laugh and mock those on the street that are at their lowest, stand up for them as an advocate, a voice of reason, a voice of collaboration, a voice of empowerment to improve communities. You have tremendous power to be a positive influence in the lives of many and in the communities to which you serve. Never forget that awesome responsibility that so many lose sight of. Just after leaving the police force, I had the pleasure of meeting an at-risk young man working at a local fast food restaurant. He dropped out of high school the year before because he had to support himself after losing his mother to cancer when he was only 8 and losing his father to cancer when he was just 12 years old. He was told by his boss that if he worked hard, he could one day become a shift leader, and that was the only place he could find work because he did not have legal status in the United States. I recall asking him if he ever had a dream of doing something greater in his life. Jose broke away from his serious look. He smiled, and he said, "I wanted to be an attorney to advocate for people that need a hand up like I have needed." By simply believing in him more than he believed in himself, this young man made the decision to rise up, return back to school earning his GED, and then his bachelor's degree, and on he journeyed through law school. Attorney Jose Orozco now serves as a deputy public defender here in San Diego to advocate for the disadvantaged. Jose then paid it forward with a young man he later met as he started to put his life back on track. Jose inspired his newfound friend Augustine to rise up as well. Augustine went on to earn his bachelor's degree. However, during his senior year, his 14-year-old brother was shot and killed by gang members. Augustine had to ask himself if that was too much to bear, and contemplated if he should take a break from school, or should he press forward, igniting his passion even more. He chose the latter. As a legacy to his little brother Javier, Augustine Peña attended law school and now serves as a deputy district attorney here in San Diego. Imagine the passion he has for victims of gang violence as he is making his own contribution to keeping the streets safe for all the younger brothers out there in memory of his little brother Javier. Augustine then paid it forward to a young man named Irving, and Irving paid it forward to a young man named Luis, and on this chain reaction of making this world a better place, one person at a time. Jose and Augustine continue to inspire many to greatness, as evidenced by the many that have pursued higher education as a result of their story. Now, for the healthcare majors, you will encounter people when they're at their most vulnerable and scared. For caregivers, you will likely be the first to interact with patients. You can have a healing touch and have an amazing impact on the lives of your patients. While working at the hospital, I learned of a story about 22-year-old Manny Delgado, a young man that was told he had testicular cancer. The cancer had spread into his lymph nodes, and the prognosis from the doctor was that it was terminal. The young man was told to get his life in order, with the physician telling him he probably had a year to live. He was devastated. You see, Manny was a new father, and now he was sitting all alone in the exam room, contemplating what would he tell his wife. While Manny sat in despair, it was a caregiver that overheard the physician's blunt bedside manner that compelled her to enter the room after the physician left. She told Manny, "You know, doctors aren't always right about these things. You can fight this, and we will support you." Manny later shared with me that it was those words from that caregiver that began to energize him from deep within. He would never see her again, nor even knew her name. Yet the impact she had on him was profound. He changed his perspective, and instead of preparing for the worst, he began to hope for the best. He stood tall, choosing to fight the cancer through chemo. The caregiver may never know the impact she had on Manny. Simply by believing in his ability to fight the fight and sharing powerful words of positivity with him, filled with empathy. Now cancer-free, Manny and his wife continue to celebrate life while leading their children to greatness. I witness every day the major role the administrative staff make in the lives of our patients. Recently, one of our billing specialists was assisting a patient regarding billing. It was a financial burden the family could barely endure. The two continued talking on the phone for several weeks, seeking alternatives to the balance owed. The medical billing professional at one point gave the patient her cell phone in case she needed to call her for support outside of business hours. She shared with me how one Saturday morning she was at a park in the South Bay for her son's game. Her cell phone rang, and it was the patient on the other end. She apologized that her cell phone had poor coverage and tried listening as best she could. Interestingly, the patient on the other end of the phone said she too was in a poor reception area at a park with her child. The employee said, "Me too. I am at the park for my son's game. What park are you at?" They both happened to be at the very same park. They found each other and met in person for the first time, hugging each other because the patient so appreciated that employee going above and beyond to touch someone that was enduring such hardship. The employee was filled with empathy for that patient. The medical professional commented, "I never thought I would be able to touch patients in this way, especially working in a billing office." The greatest opportunity afforded to us is the ability to have a positive impact on those who happen upon us. Everything happens for a reason. Paths cross for specific reasons, and if we miss it, consider what we fully are missing out on. But when we seize that moment, it intrinsically drives our passion, our purpose, it guides our conscience. Each of you will be afforded many opportunities as you embark on your career. Never forget the powerful impact you offer to those around you. Remember that story I shared with you a few minutes ago about the school principal, Mrs. Lopez? Well, a website called Humans of New York posted a photo of her student and his quote about how his principal made each student stand up as she told them that their life mattered. Well, after it was posted to the web, it went viral with over 1 million likes. Humans of New York then featured the school on their website and raised over $1 million for that school. As a result, all of the students were able to take that trip to Harvard, and their lives were forever impacted. I leave you with a quote from Nelson Mandela. "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made in the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead." And so, class of 2015, if you want to make a true difference in the world, and I am certain that you do, your purpose will be more important even than your degree. Do not ever lose sight of your purpose in this world. Never forget the opportunity and privilege you have to be a leader in your community, your workplace, your family, and friends. Dare to be for others what you always had wished someone would have done for you. Congratulations and best wishes to each and every one of you. Thank you.